we now have the presence of Muslim communities wanting to impose Sharia in the West. So obviously this is now finding scrutiny. Thunderous One says information age. This
Yeah.
is why it's an issue now, right? So now this is becoming common. So now the
Yeah.
first marriage ruling in Sunni Islam, a man who needs to marry because of desire for sexual intercourse and has enough money is recommended to do so. Now, when you do read through the
Okay.
Islamic law within the Hanafi, the Shafi schools, and so on, you don't find reference to as a sacrament. You don't find reference to love. You say, well, very blunt like this: if you need to marry because you want sex and you have enough money, do so. One who needs to marry but does not have enough to pay the expenses is recommended not to marry, but to suppress sexual desire by fasting. And if it is not suppressed by fasting, then he should marry, borrowing the money to pay for the bride's marriage payment, if she will not accept him owing it to her. That's a very basic introduction to marriage law within Islam, and they speak very strongly of sexual desire, sexual desire, sexual desire, and
Yeah.
so on. Okay? Now, I'm going to go through various. Now, let's just go through some of the rulings. We'll have a look at a variety of rulings within the Sharia, right? This is the Sharia that Muslims want to impose on the entire world. This is the Sharia that Muslims speak about that they want to live under. When a free woman asks to marry a suitor who is suitable, her guardian must marry her to him whether she is a virgin or non-virgin and whether she is prepubescent or not.
Hmm.
I think that is very, very explicit. I think that is very, very explicit.
Okay. Now, yes. Now, so the case could be made, right? If I have to play, devil's advocate and argue for the Muslim community, in the sense that I'm from Pakistan. One of the ways in which fornication and adultery within Pakistani communities are controlled is by marrying their children off. This does not mean that the children are, allowed to stay together and consummate each other's, the marriage and stuff. It's just to marry each other and just to let each other know that, you guys are married, and therefore when you are old enough, you guys will live together. So it's kind of like preventative measures in place to prevent corruption in the land. So I don't know how that ties in. This does not. It wouldn't necessarily to me mean that, oh wow, it's such a bad practice kind of thing. It is still a bit weird, but it wouldn't be
Well,
as
prepubescent
bad
doesn't
as
specify an
having
age.
sex with.
Prepubescent doesn't
Yeah.
specify an age, and infant marriage is allowed.
No, it doesn't.
Now, Yassin Bechet wants to distract, obviously, with the red herring. Please read Numbers 31. The Old Testament does not apply to me. The Old Testament does not apply to Christianity. Understand? We do not follow the law of Moses. It is illegal in the West to marry children. It is also immoral. There is no sunnah of Jesus having sex with 9-year-olds. There is sunnah of Muhammad doing so. Yes?
Well, he's what scripture did he use?
Numbers 31 verse 18. So let's continue.
Okay,
So
just understanding, just a quick response on that is the book of Numbers is not necessarily instructive in nature.
yeah,
It's the nature of the book entire is very narrative. So it informs on past events, not
yeah,
necessarily
it's history. It's
instructs
not.
us on, yes, it's history. So what happens in history does not automatically become instructive.
Yeah,
For example, if I kill as a father to my daughters, they wouldn't understand like, oh, my dad killed, therefore that, you know, um, somehow means that it's an instruction for
yeah.
us to kill.
Well, the
It's
Quran is
they
commands.
can,
The Quran is
yes, you see,
instruction, whereas the Bible is descriptive, not prescriptive. It is history.
yes. So there's a lot of, yes. So there must be there needs to be this distinction between what exactly part of the Bible we're reading and how we interpret that. So yeah, let's move on.
So I'll just go through a
So
variety of
does
laws. Yeah.
yes, go ahead.
I'm going to
Yeah,
go through a
let's
variety of
go
these
on.
laws so
So
that we can
yeah,
see. So, for instance, they talk about it's recommended. So, when a bride is a virgin, whenever the bride's a virgin, the
yeah,
father of the father's father may marry her to someone without her permission. So, a girl may be married off without her permission if she's a virgin, if she's underage. Okay? Though it is recommended to ask her permission if she has reached puberty. If a virgin's silence is considered as permission. If a virgin is not responsive to the question of wanting to marry. It's assumed that she
Okay,
can be married off.
sorry, Lloyd.
Yeah.
Kasim is asking a question. He made a statement. He said children under the age of 18 can still be married in 48 states in the US. A quick response. Kasim, we are not discussing whether teenagers can get married. I think the shock effect that I personally have had over a period of time, just looking into the Islamic sources, is that prepubescent, meaning child under age, severely under age, under even 10, are given into marriage for sex, not necessarily just marriage. The shock effect is child under 10 given for marriage and sex. Okay.